Today I'm going to teach you the basics of how to put together your own short film in your home using the tools you have access to. My name is Ben Gilbarg. I'm director of Steam the Streets, and I also produce a lot of the content that you see from Steam the Streets, including music videos like Black Made That and Nada, profile videos, and a lot more through my video production agency called Big Picture Anthems. So for today's lesson, the STEAM letters we're going to be using are A for arts, because video production is an art, and T for technology, the technology we use to produce videos, such as apps and cameras and phones, and all these things are technologies that we use. So if you watch Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Apple, all these other services that have just exploded over the past few years, you'll kind of get the feeling that there's a lot of TV shows and series, a lot of movies out there, and what's going on is this kind of explosion. So for what's needed for that is more people to create content, to put together videos, to direct videos, to act in videos, to light videos, all these things. So did you know that right now the highest rising career field in the arts is video editing? Yes, so video editing is a lucrative career path. There's also, like I said, you can't go wrong with acting, directing, producing, lighting, sound design, production design, or any other of the many jobs you see when you read the credits of a movie. There's so many things that go into it, including carpentry, being an electrician, catering. There's so many different things. And a stat for you, according to Bread and Beyond, 88% of businesses will invest more in video marketing campaigns than they did in previous years. So it's this whole thing right now of all businesses need video because it is the most effective way to market online right now. So if you're looking towards a potential future in video production, you could work for a production company, you work in creating content, you could freelance and do your own thing until you can maybe have your own video production agency like I do. The salary in these fields, I think we can conservatively say $40,000 and up. So if you put your work in and you start getting your years in, and let's say you go into directing and you ultimately become a great director, I mean, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars per year potentially. Same thing with editing, same thing with producing, and also starting your own company, you can make a lot of money doing that. So the sky's kind of the limit for what you can make in production. So for me, I started making videos at 10 years old, and it was much harder back then because you had these fat tapes and clunky cameras and no computers to edit on, so it was a little more difficult. Thankfully, we have technologies, we have phones that now take video, and there are tons of great free editing apps that you can use to make good-looking videos on your phone, tablet, or laptop. So to produce a video is to bring it from beginning to end. And the three main phases to do that are pre-production, production, and post-production. We're going to start with pre-production, which is essentially what comes before you start filming. You have to have some type of plan, some type of idea, some type of thought process that informs your plan to shoot your production, right? So, you know, at my level, when producing content, sometimes our pre-production phases take months because we're doing scripting, storyboarding, we're doing strategy on how to promote this video and get it out there. We're doing all this stuff before we even film anything. For the sake of this video, we're going to look at your pre-production as just some idea, some creative idea you have, and some type of plan. Now, when you're putting together your plan, there's three elements every good story needs: your characters, conflict, and resolution. And then you can build your story around that. And it doesn't have to be complex or difficult. It can be very abstract. Don't let me box you in. The important thing is just to start making videos, but this will give you a good foundation. So with a story, you want to start small and build up. You want to just, even if you make a 30-second video, if this is your first time, you take that, you build your confidence, and then you produce more. In fact, I have a simple challenge for you. So what I want you to do is produce a day in the life of quarantine video. Your three elements could be, in this case, your characters. For one, could be you, maybe your sibling or siblings, maybe your family, whoever's in the house with you could be characters, or it could just be you, right? Like in a very introspective look. Second is conflict. So what is the conflict you're dealing with during COVID-19? It could be just boredom from not being able to really leave the house. It could be deeper than that, depression, even loss and sickness. Of course, you share what you want to share, but those are some of the conflicts you could potentially have. And then finally, resolution. So what are you going to do to get through this and get better, or what are you doing currently? So this could be learning a new craft, watching TV, playing games, exercising, writing, building things. The list goes on. So I want you to really think about what you can capture in those three different elements. So my two sons are going to be guinea pigs here. They are going to be doing this along with you and creating their own day in the life quarantine video. So for this day in the life of quarantine video making challenge, what I want you to do is get approximately 5 to 10 shots with your phone camera or any video camera you have in the house of you doing some of those things, capturing how you're getting through quarantine and a day in the life. Later, I'm going to show you where you can share this so we can see your progress and potentially your short film can get some exposure. Once you've gotten your shots, you're going to move to the post-production phase, which many of us know as editing. Many editing programs and apps you can use for all platforms, including Chromebooks and Androids, and we'll have a link to those in the description of this video. So iPhone, Android, and laptop editing apps that you can use. So I have an iPhone with this cool, old school tape as the phone case right here. And I'll be showing you a free app that I use for iPhones and that my sons are using for this. It's called InShot Video App. It's free on iOS. Only kind of real drawback to it is when you export it and share it, it has the little InShot watermark in the right corner. So you can deal with that. But once again, if you like it, use it a couple times and get to the point where like, hey, I like this editing, you can then maybe pay a few dollars for the next level up. The InShot Video app is very easy and very intuitive, especially if you have an iPhone already and you're used to using it. My two sons, who are 13 and 16, picked it up like this. They didn't even need any instruction from me, so that was good. So what you want to start with is, after you capture your clips, you bring in your clips into your timeline or your story. And for this app, you have an import button, which is this red plus sign. You're going to add a video in. You could also, for the beginning of your video, add a simple title. My sons use the day in the life of quarantine title. You can get more creative with it if you want. You can start with something that's not a title, right? Start with a visual or something that maybe you have in mind. Then you can start to piece together and assemble your story using your shots you're getting in your house and around your house. You can add music from a little featured segment here, which has a lot of options. It might not have the most popular music out right now, but it has a lot of different cool vibes and different music options you can use. You can lower the volume right there so it's background, or you can make that the main audio you hear if you don't really have any dialogue. You could speed things up, you could slow them down, you can add emojis and stickers. You can move those emojis and stickers around. You could even cover up your face if you want to, like my son did with this silly globe emoji. And then after you kind of finish toiling around, you can add an ending title with a cool emoji or something. So once you mess with your video and maybe you come back and edit it the next day and you kind of really work on it, what I want you to do is, when it's finished, you export the video to your camera roll. Once it's exported, then let us see your video, share it. You can actually upload it to our site, and we got a special campaign going on with New Bedford Public Schools right now. So if you're in New Bedford, you could potentially be featured in an upcoming music video we are working on with New Bedford Public Schools. So if you'd like to upload to that link, there's a site right there. You could also, start a YouTube channel. You can upload to other outlets as well on social media. So our 3 takeaways from today's lesson. 1, video production is a booming career field. There's a lot of opportunity to do a lot of different things. And I wish I was a teenager now, because as a teenager, if someone told me video production and video editing are growing career fields, that would have saved me a lot of time and years and a lot of roundabouts that I went on. The second thing to take away here is that there are 3 basic elements to a story, including characters, conflict, and resolution. So as long as you keep that in mind as you create content, that'll help you and build a foundation. And number 3, there are many easy ways to start editing, including free apps like the one we use today called InShot. InShot is not sponsoring this, but it's a great free app. And then, like I said, once you start getting a little more experience and liking it, you can move up, maybe pay a couple dollars, maybe work your way into a computer system after that. A quote I like to live by is, make videos every day. If you like it, you keep doing it. You keep practicing, sharpening your swords. You elevate your tools you work with. And it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? So you want to build up over time. And if you keep at it and get better and better, you'll have a lot of options, I think, even at a young age. You might be making videos for one of your friends' companies. Who knows? You might be able to get an internship in Hollywood and just start a career over there, or in many of the other states that now have film industries, including Massachusetts. If you have any other skills you want to learn, definitely leave a comment in the comments section, and if we can't help you directly, we'll be able to at least point you in the right direction. To keep up with Steam the Streets, follow us on social media @SteamTheStreets and visit steamthestreets.org. Let's do it.